What's going on, y'all? It's your boy June Archer here on the Winner Circle. This is 50.com. My guest today, Melissa Harville Lebron, the first African American woman to be licensed by Nascar. How does it feel?
Wonderful. It's exhilarating, actually.
I want to take it back a little bit. You got your start in the Department of Corrections. We were just talking about how you were honored, and that led you to get into the music business.
Mm-hmm. And you got it backwards.
I got it backwards?
Got it backwards.
So music business.
Then job stability in the Department of Corrections, and then I always stayed active in the music industry.
And you had your own entertainment company. You had your own label as well.
I do.
How did that journey allow you to get on this path to owning your own PR company and a NASCAR licensed team?
It started with an artist development deal. I was asked to come and do an artist development deal for an aspiring driver, and that was my initial exposure to NASCAR.
See, networking is key. It's very key to what you're doing. We're going to talk about that's a whole other show.
It sure
but
is.
For you, how was it being the first African American woman, first woman, period? What were the obstacles? What were the things that kind of discouraged you when you probably first got your foot in there? Or was it the networking piece that kind of helped you surpass some of those obstacles?
Well, definitely the networking helped me surpass a lot of the obstacles. It's always relationship, but my official title is solely owned NASCAR team, licensed owner.
That's big. They don't let a lot of us in there. Don't let a lot of us in there on any level when it comes to sports or entertainment. For you carry a lot on your shoulders, being a mom of 3,
yes.
Also raising 4 children that are not your own, 2 with special needs. How do you do it along with having a PR company and being in this role as the sole owner of a NASCAR team?
It's purely by the grace of God. I identified, really, really young that we have a lot of opportunities, and not to be afraid to, swing out there and challenge yourself. And I always wanted to be that encouragement for my children. So I can only lead by example.
What were some of your role models growing up?
My grandmother. My grandmother was the entrepreneur. She had a lot of multi-dwelling homes, and I've seen her work all the way up until her dying day, pretty much. And she acquired 17 multi-family houses and buildings across the country.
How important is it for not just young people of color, but young women of color to see yourself in that role, doing what you're doing as an entrepreneur? Because we see so many negative images on television.
That's true.
And in our communities. How important is it for you to make sure that you continue on this path and you're giving back by supporting STEM programs and programs for young people? For you, how important is it to be that role model or that image?
It's especially important to me because my background is so similar to what is typical in our culture. From coming from a single parent household, there was drug abuse in my immediate family. My parents were divorced. Having a stepdad, feeling like the outside child, like you name it, you can go down the checklist, and that was my life. So I am a true testament. I tell people all the time, like I'm a reflection of you. As far as speaking of the women of color, I've gone through the same things that you've gone through, and I had to learn to raise above it. Yes, it's a part of who I am, but it's not who I am. It doesn't define me as a person. And I took those pains and those tribulations and those obstacles, and slowly but surely, God laid out a path for me. So now when I speak to people, I'm able to say, I know exactly what you're going through because I've been there, and I can relate to them and truly relate to them with a real conversation, so that they know she gets it because she lived it.
Right, but sometimes it feels like there is no way out when you're
when you're in the middle of it. Oh yeah, definitely.
So for those who are watching, listening, for you, what are some keys to success that allow you to get out of that broken home and thrive? Get out of that broken relationship and thrive? Putting the fact that you come from a one-parent household over here on the side and saying you still can do it, you can still accomplish it. Because there's some people that say, I get it, Melissa. I've been in the same situation. You might have been fortunate. You might even be blessed to get out, but I'm still here, and I don't see a way out. There's no way out for me. What do you say to that woman, or anyone for that matter, that's watching and says, you know, give me the keys to success?
It's true. It's true. You got to believe in yourself. There's this little voice in you. There's this little spirit within you that you have to communicate with it. And I feel like that's what saved me. Like, I always felt like there's something else I'm supposed to be doing. When my friends were getting high, or they were fighting, or just getting into all kind of craziness, it did not feel right for me. So I couldn't relate to it. Like, I was like, you know, you give it a try, but you're like, this is not me.
It's not me, right?
It's not me. You got to listen to that voice and nurture that voice, because it's God talking to you, communicating with you. Like, I got something better for you.
Sometimes
just hold on.
Yeah,
sometimes you just gotta
hold on. Holding on is the hard part, right?
It's a very hard part.
You know,
you just gotta hold on.
Sometimes holding on is the part that is the most easiest, but it seems so difficult when you're actually in that particular situation. Sure. But if you change your environment, I think one of the things that you're saying is your grandmother being an entrepreneur, you had, you know, your steps were laid out for you. Like, you had a visual of, you may not have appreciated it at the time, but her being successful had to have an imprint.
Of course. What she taught me was hard work pays off. Sacrifice, self-sacrifice, it pays off. You know, too often we always have this I in us. You can't. Like, you have to sometimes make these sacrifices to move forward. And a lot of people don't see that. They're like, oh no, I don't want to do that because it's too difficult, or, you know, it doesn't feel right. It interferes with what I had planned for me. Sometimes it is all about self-sacrifice, completely. And I watched my grandmother. She had a beautiful home, and she still opened her doors up to strangers. You know, that's why I'm so engaging with other people. You know, I don't see color, and I taught my kids not to see color and not to see status and things of that nature, because my grandmother opened her home to the hobo on the street, the prostitute on the corner. You know, you could go to my grandmother's door at any time of the night and she will let you in, and that's what she was known for. If you said, Miss Stone, I need help, she was going to help you.
You've been definitely blessed to be in this situation, and I don't think he gives you more than you can handle.
That's right.
I think you doing what you're doing is being a blessing to not just women of color all across, you know, the world. I think everyone should kind of stand up and pay attention to what it is that you're doing, because you're doing a great thing. And keep doing what you're doing.
I just, you know, taking the children, it was so that they know that somebody cared, that they matter. And I was in a position that I could show them a different way, get them the help that they needed, get them the assistance that they need. And it's not easy. I'm a single mother. Lord, I'll probably never get married again, because you say 7 kids, they run the other way. They don't care what you're doing with your life. But the investment in the children is so important, because they are our future. They are our future. And you have to teach them the self-worth. You have to teach them the confidence. You have to give them the tools for them to go out in this world, because it is difficult out there. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what your status. It is difficult out there. Just the color of your skin alone creates one issue, and then let you be a black male, that's a whole nother issue.
Different issue. All
you know, you be chunky, that's another issue.
Or you could be Jamaican like me and still have, you know. I think what you're doing with STEM programs is super important. I want you to talk about that. It's really big in our communities. We as a culture do not allow our young people to get involved in STEM programs throughout the nation. They exist, but our young people are not getting in them. Maybe because they just don't have access, they don't have know-how, they don't have the network, and more importantly, they don't have the money to get into these programs. For you, how important is it to kind of take what you're doing and leave a legacy of letting our young people be involved in STEM?
The STEM programs are very important because it creates it's definitely a new stream of employment. The educational aspect of it, our kids are brilliant, and they just need to be nurtured and guided. But we have to raise the money. We have to give back to them, because they are our future. And in order for us as a culture to move forward, we have to make the investment in the children. And I tell people all the time, instead of buying those sneakers, Put your child in the after school program. Give them a music lesson. Do something to encourage the brilliance in them because it is there.
The $200 pair of sneakers?
Get rid of them.
It's a summer STEM program that you could be putting these kids in. The return on your investment will be so much greater than a pair of sneakers that you probably wear once. You wipe the bottom off and you put them back in the closet. I promise you, you have to invest in your child. You have to invest in these young people. They are the future.
They are.
E2, what's next for you guys? You just had your race.
Yes.
15th place.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that for me. First African American woman, licensed by NASCAR. Your first race, you placed 15th.
To solely own a NASCAR.
To solely. I'm gonna make sure I get that piece in there because that's very important. That's huge. That's big.
Yes.
What did it feel like? 15th place. I mean, for some people, they think first place is everything, right?
It's not.
First place is not everything.
It's not. Being competitive is everything. And I
Can you say that again?
Being competitive is everything.
I don't think you guys understand that. Listen, you don't have to be in first place, second, or
don't.
third. It's not always about winning. It's about the journey.
That's
But
right.
being competitive
That's right.
will allow you to continue to run this race. Some people don't even realize when you play golf. Some people are kind of upset that Tiger didn't win the other day. Tiger gets a nice check for coming in second place.
Does.
He didn't really care about. I mean, it would be great to win, but he still got a check well over 6 figures just for placing in second place.
Mm-hmm. And I explained to people, I said I'd rather be competitive than to have a win, because once you have a win, you always expect to do it again. When you don't accomplish that, then you consider it a failure. So staying competitive, you are consistent, and they can count on you. Your fans can count on you to always be like, we know we're going to run top 10. We know we're going to run in the top 5%. So that's what's most important. NASCAR is a little different. You don't have to win to be the most successful team. You have to be actually the most popular, but you have to be competitive. That is the name of the game, is to be competitive. I couldn't run last place. And nobody on my team knew that. I prayed to God. I said, God, all I want to do is be in the top 15. I just want to run in the top 15%. And he brought it dead head right there, 15. And I told everybody after the race, and they're like, are you serious? I said, swear to God, I've always said that.
Man, listen. So where can we see you online? Can we follow you somewhere?
Oh, yeah, we're all over
Instagram?
social media. But most importantly, come to the track. Come to the track.
Listen, you know what? I'm
to the
going to
track.
save some money, and I'm going to bring 5 kids to the next race. You just try to tell me where it's going to be.
May 4th.
May 4th. We're going to try to get at least 5 kids to go see what is going on where they never, ever get to see what's going on because they're not privy to those environments.
Well, one of the programs that we're going to be developing is to have like a camp for the kids so they can come out and physically touch the cars, get involved with what does it take to be on a pit group, what does it take to be a car chief, and start implanting that in their head that there are other careers, other unbeaten path careers. We have to employ about 65 people. There are 16 professions within that 65 people. So it's a huge opportunity for employment and education.
Listen, pay attention, stay tuned. Melissa Harville Lebron, the first and solely owned NASCAR team. Listen, keep doing what you're doing. We are proud of you.
Thank you.
Anything is possible. Keep your mind on your goals.
That's right.
Stay focused and stay competitive. If you didn't learn anything today, stay competitive. You ain't got to be number one.
Yep.
Just stay competitive and you get to the top. And if you don't make it to the top, at least the journey itself should be a blessing. Keep it locked right here. This is the Winner's Circle, and this is 50.com. Melissa Harville, LeBron, June Archer. Peace.